What is going on, guys? I am here today because we are looking at Season 2 of Marvel Rivals. It is finally out. We have the Hellfire Gala party on Krakoa. That is the theme for this season's Battle Pass and cosmetics and everything, and the storyline here. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Battle Pass, the new hero Emma Frost, any of the changes to team-ups and whatnot, and of course all of the cosmetic stuff. So first we are going to take a look at the Battle Pass itself. Just like last season, we're going to have 10 pages of stuff over here of cosmetics to unlock. The first thing being this Spider-Man skin. So this is the like Oni inspired one, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Spider Oni. Pretty cool. It is the legendary skin for him, possibly? I'm not entirely sure. But it is pretty cool. I think the cosmetics on it are pretty unique. Given the other outfits he has, it definitely is a standout outfit, in my opinion. The next one you get, also on this first page here, is a Psylocke skin with her classic X-Men colors, which is super cool. We don't have that like long bandana that she usually has, or scarf, whatever it is. But we do have this nice little butterfly on the back, and of course, like I said, her classic X-Men colors. Page 2 is the Squirrel Girl page. So this is the Squirrel Punk, or whatever they're calling this one. My opinion, not her greatest skin. It is pretty unique, but not my favorite. The punk style ones are pretty hit or miss in my opinion. Nut Rocker is what this one is called. Third page here, the Retro X uniform for Magic. Again, her classic X-Men colors. Super cool. I think the classic X-Men colors just really work with the heroes that were X-Men, that were on that mutant team, the X-Men. I'm hoping they bring out more of those because we have more characters that were on the X-Men, and I think it works really well with them. Page 4 here is for Black Widow, the Red Runway Veil. I think this one's pretty interesting. I like most of it, except for her headpiece here. The veil itself is a little strange in my opinion. But it is a very cool skin. You can see she has this long braid going down the back here as her Hellfire Gala outfit. Fifth page is Emma Frost. I'm sorry, Luna Snow. Luna has a lot of skins. I'll say that. But this one is still pretty good in my opinion. It's pretty easy to do a good skin for Luna, in my opinion. You know, she has that like two-tone color thing going on with her eyes, and you can just match that for a nice black and white, or just two tones of two different colors going on. Always making like an interesting outfit, and I think this one is no exception. The sixth page is just a gallery card. It is pretty nice. Seventh page here is the Joe Fixit skin for the Hulk. We'll take a look at each of these individually here. This one is the Bruce Banner form. Pretty cool, not gonna lie, very dapper man. Then we have the hulking out form here of Joe Fixit. The Joe Fixit storyline is actually pretty interesting, so if you have any interest in that, I would definitely recommend looking up the lore behind that, because it is pretty cool. Yeah, this one's really cool. He looks, you know, very mobster-ish, which is awesome. And then his like hulked out super form. Not my favorite. It is pretty cool, like the cybernetic stuff on it, but not my favorite one here. Eighth page is Cap. Cap is looking extra dapper here. Don't have any helmet or mask, and we have that interesting silver and gold shield, which is kind of against all of the other cosmetics that we have going on of his red, white, and blue theme. That silver and gold is pretty cool. And I think he has an interesting emote as well. His shield turns into a briefcase because he is a businessman. He is the dapper defender for the Hellfire Gala. Pretty cool. Iron Fist. This one is kind of crazy, in my opinion. So this Iron Fist really, the skin here is really resembling the classic Danny Rand Iron Fist. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but this skin goes crazy, in my opinion. If you are an Iron Fist player, this is the skin you're going to be using. You have a little bit of animation here on the chest tattoo. Can you stop moving so we can see it? Yeah, a little bit of animation here. The same sort of glowy animation on his gauntlets here. And then the pauldrons are just big flaming dragon eyes being... oh, actually, they're Eyes of Agamotto. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. And then finally here, what I have been waiting for is the Cloak and Dagger skin. This one has been leaked for months, and nobody has really known when it was coming out. But this is the legendary skin at the end on the 10th page of the Battle Pass. And of course, being the legendary skin, it's going to have, you know, the super cool MVP screen, which is what we're watching here. And it also is going to have different sound effects for all of the different abilities. This is really just an amazing skin. The white cloak is super cool. The black dagger is super cool. Kind of like switching their color themes for the Hellfire Gala, I think was a really cool way to illustrate, you know, that pairing that they have there. So that's the Battle Pass. Of course, like on each of these pages, you're having, you know, your different specific emotes, sprays, banners, or name cards, whatever they're called, nameplates. And on some of them, you will also be having the currency as well, just like in the other Battle Passes that we have seen. All right, next thing we are looking at is the new hero, Emma Frost. She is a vanguard, very interestingly. A lot of people did not know she was going to be a vanguard or not, but she is. And we will be looking at her in just a moment here. But this is just, you know, her main skin, her main screen here. She has a couple cosmetics, one being her recolor, which I think is still pretty good, to be honest. I don't think, you know, recolors are always a little iffy, but I think her recolor is pretty good. And then her skin that you can get in the store. This is the one that everyone is going to be using. I can give you 2 reasons why people are going to want to be using this skin, but it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, she is looking pretty good, in my opinion. We will be looking at her abilities in the practice range in a moment. The next thing that we're going to look at is some of the new team-ups. Some of the team-ups were removed, like the Magneto and Scarlet Witch team-up was removed, but we do have a few... also the Voltaic Union, the one with Thor as the Anchor, Storm, and Captain America getting the extra abilities. But we do have 3 new ones for this season. Arcane Order with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. This one, the team-up ability is pretty good. Looking at Scarlet Witch, she is the one that receives the ability. It is an extra damage. It is kind of like an extra little like projectile turret that I believe you can simulcast with her primary fire, which is kind of crazy. That is some tech that I was seeing come out of the streamer preview. The next one is Stars Aligned. We're finally getting a team up with Bucky and Cap. Let's take a look at these abilities here.
Let's go, Bucky.
So they charge at each other and do kind of an AoE damage. So it looks like Cap needs to initiate that and Bucky will confirm it. But Bucky can also initiate and confirm it as well. But he has an extra move here. I thought he did. Might have just been that one. We'll see. Oh, no, he does have that charge and slam. I don't know why this is such a long preview here. But yes, Bucky does get an extra little charge slam, very similar to Captain America's leaping slam that he has normally. So Bucky getting more damage. I don't know if he really needed more damage, in my opinion, but pretty cool if you're a Bucky or Cap player. Then we have the team up between Emma Frost as the Anchor, Magneto, and Psylocke. Very interesting here. So she's not really getting anything extra. But as you can see, the other two can create duplicates of themselves. A mind link duplicate of themselves. Let's take a look from Magneto's perspective here. They both attack. It is a mirror image of what you're doing. So like the movements and stuff are mirrored. I do know for Magneto that they can bubble each other, which is pretty cool. And then again, it is the same for Psylocke. Psylocke will create a double image of herself doing an insane amount of damage, in my opinion. That's just a crazy amount of damage right there. All right, so we have seen the new team-ups, the new hero. Let's take a quick look at the store. We have, of course, that Emma Frost new skin, but we also have a new Star-Lord skin. Pretty cool, in my opinion. It's not part of the Battle Pass, but it is his Hellfire Gala attire, I would say, from the looks of it. Very dapper guy. If you are a Star-Lord player, this is definitely a skin that you're going to want to pick up here. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, we are going to go into the practice range and take a look at Emma Frost's abilities. Let's take a look here. All right, her primary fire is basically a beam that she can send out. And as you see in the middle of the screen there is a charging bar. As her charge increases, she does more and more damage. So getting that up to 100 in like team fights and stuff, definitely gonna want to be something that you do. Because if you can just keep that bar charging, you're doing crazy, crazy amounts of damage. Let's do her abilities first. One of her abilities here is projecting a shield. As you can see, it has 500 health. It is kind of similar to like an Invisible Woman shield, but it doesn't target anybody specifically. You can actually put it out at a maximum distance here. If I keep backing up, as you can see, it can only go a maximum distance, which is very interesting. But then, of course, you know, you can recall it, and it will start recharging on the left-hand side there. Her next ability is also going to be one that you're going to want to be using a lot. It pulls out this little crystal shard that, as you can see, you can also be damaging people, and it has a really short cooldown. So you're pulling out this crystal shard from an enemy that is directly linked to them, and as you can see, damaging the crystal shard and blowing it up does a really healthy amount of damage. And using that that ability, it comes towards you. So you're going to want to make sure that you're kind of, you know, in the line of fire of your team, so they can all be doing damage to that that little crystal projection there. Let's see what kind of range we have on it. Can I hit him from here? I can hit him from here. That's pretty cool. But as you can see, there is a little circle on the ground. Let me wait for this to recharge again here. There's a circle on the ground. If that enemy goes outside of the circle, that crystal will disconnect from them. So it won't be doing that final explosion damage if you don't damage the crystal all the way by the time before that they leave that circle.
Did you even train for this?
The next thing we'll look at is her diamond form. So she has a diamond form. I'm going to just turn on no ability cooldown here because that cooldown is pretty long. She has a diamond form. Actually, let's heal up just so we can get a more accurate picture here. All right, so I start with 650 health. Each shot is doing 25 damage, right? And then if we go ahead and, ow, come on.
Some rejuvenation would be nice.
If we activate our diamond form and get hit, it's only doing 17 damage. So there is a bit of damage mitigation there. So for that, you're going to want to be using that if you are like stuck in a pickle with a lot of people around and you want to be mitigating some of that damage. Activating the diamond form also activates a little different set of combat style here. So activating the diamond form, your attacks turn into melee attacks.
Double kill.
And your secondary abilities also change. So if we turn into diamond form here, we have a choke slam. So that's going to be good for like grabbing enemies to kind of single them out for then your team to be able to finish off. And the last one, let's just keep our diamond form active here. The last one is her kick, her spinning kick that also does knockback and extra damage if they're hitting the wall. So you see, you know, if you hit 3 melees, kick them into a wall, they're dead on that combo. That's pretty huge. And if you don't hit them into the wall, it still does a significant amount of damage, but it is not going to kill them. So for that spinning kick, you want to make sure that you can try to hit them into the wall. So, you know, you can do something like this. Smack them into the wall, and they will die. Yeah, so Emma Frost, I think, is going to be a really interesting Vanguard to play. Her switching forms is very interesting. And the team-ups that she has are also going to be pretty interesting. So we're probably going to see a lot of Emma Magneto Psylocke comp in games, which I think is going to be pretty good because Magneto was already a very strong character. All right, guys, so that was our look at all of the new Season 2 stuff. We will be playing a lot of this game this season. The cosmetics are great. The new map is going to look pretty cool. And we'll be showcasing that on stream and in the next video that I have posted a little bit later today. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you later.